society sort of allows us to be a little bit more...
Heidi Roizen is a Silicon Valley entrepreneur. She's also been a senior executive of global companies like Apple. She's also worked as a venture capitalist in California. But for the past few months, she's been living in Edinburgh. She's been out talking to local entrepreneurs in the city, like this one known as the Launch Lab. But her main role has been as entrepreneur in residence at Edinburgh University's Business School, which comes to an end this week.
Being an entrepreneur in residence at the university, and I'm really at the E-Club of the business school, it is a post that is sort of a design it as you go. Michael Clauser at the university is the person who put this together. I'm the third entrepreneur in residence. I'm the first one from a different country. And really the idea is to just come and be here and be accessible to those people, both in the university and in the community, who are pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors, and see how I can be helpful to them.
So have you noticed any particular differences? I think we have more of a reputation for being somewhat risk-averse.
There is a tremendous amount of talent here. There's a tremendous amount of intelligence here, and there's a tremendous amount of drive and spirit here. So there really isn't any difference between an entrepreneur in Silicon Valley and an entrepreneur in Edinburgh. And I think that the ideas span all the way from very, that not that these are bad, but small ideas for small businesses that would be very local, all the way up to things that could be the killer apps and the billion-dollar opportunities. I think that where you see a difference here, first of all, is just that this is a much smaller place. It is a smaller ecosystem, and so you don't have the degree of sophistication in terms of the venture capital support, the legal support, financial support, and what I call the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Now, I think the benefit is that entrepreneurial ecosystem has become very global and very connectable, even through using online tools. So, to me, my recommendation to the entrepreneur sitting in Edinburgh is, just because you're in Edinburgh, you still have to recognize that you're part of the global entrepreneurial community and tap in to those resources that are available to you.
So how important do you feel that social networking is? After all, that's something that you've been actually talking about at this particular meeting.
Half an hour from my home, I can drive and be at the world headquarters of Apple, Google, Facebook, Cisco, Zynga. The list goes on and on and on, right? And so there is a large amount of activity, and not only in technology of that type, internet technology, but in biotech and in energy, that is happening around the valley. Also, about, I think, 30% of the world's venture investment capital is based in the valley. So for better or worse, there is a very powerful center of activity there. Do you have to live in that center to take advantage of it? No. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who come, spend some time there, attend a conference, do a semester abroad at one of the institutions in California, and then return here, just as I'm going to return to California, but I've made all sorts of contacts with people here in Edinburgh that I'll continue to maintain through visits, through online activities, email, Skype, whatever we do to stay connected.
I think you suggested to the university that somebody should be here from Silicon Valley every year.
I'd love to see that. I think that if you believe what I've just said, that there's an ecosystem in Silicon Valley that could be of great use to the people who are entrepreneurs in Edinburgh, and there are very talented people in Edinburgh with great ideas whose companies should be allowed to prosper and prosper here. I think strengthening that link and strengthening the individual ties would be something that would be very valuable to both sides of the equation. I've made really new and interesting friends, and I've developed a great appreciation for Edinburgh, for Scotland, for the UK, and for being abroad. And so I think there will be other people like me who would love to come spend some time here. In turn, when I return to Silicon Valley, I'm now a friend of the local entrepreneurial community. I guess maybe I could be an honorary global Scot or something like that. But now I'm someone that if someone met me here and they follow up with me and say, hey, I'm going to be in the Valley, I'm coming through to either raise funds or do business development, or I'd like to meet the people at Google or something, if I can be helpful, I'm going to be helpful. So doesn't it just make sense to manufacture a few more me's and to keep a steady program going back and forth? I personally think it makes a lot of sense.